Thank you, Lisa. Next, we have Enghebatu Togochog from Southern Mongolian Human Rights Information Center.
Samachano, Dashi happy Losar to my Tibetan brothers and sisters. In fact, actually, Mongolians also celebrate the exact same Losar we call Chagansar. And it's the same day. Happy Chagansar to all of us also. So first of all, I would like to thank my dear friend Ngawang Tharchin and his team for giving us this opportunity to become a part of the coordinating this event. And my name is Enghebatu Togochog. I'm from Southern Mongolia, also widely known as Inner Mongolia, which is another nation occupied and colonized by China, just like Tibet and East Turkistan. As you all know, in 1949, the Chinese Communist Party took control over China proper. Soon after, our three nations, Southern Mongolia, East Turkestan, and Tibet, were occupied by Chinese government. And our sovereignty, national sovereignty, was reduced to what is called national autonomy, which exists only on the paper. And our national territory became autonomous region, and our people are reduced to so-called ethnic minority on our own land. During this history, Southern Mongolia was the guinea pig of Chinese all ethnic policy. All of China's ethnic policies, including large-scale genocide, ethnic cleansing, political purge, population transfer, economic exploitation, cultural eradication, and environmental destruction, have always been formulated, tested, and validated of their effectiveness in Southern Mongolia first. During the past 7 decades of Chinese colonial rule, Southern Mongolia has experienced at least 3 waves of major ethnic cleansing or genocide. As early as 1947, even before the establishment of People's Republic of China, the Chinese Communist Party orchestrated and carried out the so-called land reform movement in Southern Mongolia. And at least 20,000 Mongolians were executed, and the Mongolian land were effectively confiscated by the Chinese and given to the Chinese. That was as early in 1947. And then after the 1949, during the 1950s, the government of China carried out another wave of political witch hunt to arrest, imprison, and execute thousands of Southern Mongolian elites under the name of anti-national rights movement. And the genocide par excellence of CCP took place during the late 1960s and early 1970s. At least 100,000 Mongolians were killed and 500,000 arrested, imprisoned, and tortured. Once this physical genocide in Southern Mongolia concluded with triumph, the government of China experimented another form of genocide, cultural genocide or ethnocide in Southern Mongolia starting 2001. The entire Mongolian rural population and nomadic civilization as whole were put to trial. Practicing the traditional way of life and raising their livestock on their own land is considered crime. The grassland that was the foundation of nomadic civilizations for thousands of years were completely destroyed by Chinese miners and Chinese colonial settlers. To proven the effectiveness in
Southern Mongolia. These genocide, ethnocide, ecocide were soon carried out in Tibet and now implemented in East Turkistan in front of the eyes of the international community. The Chinese regime's oppressive and brutal nature is not confined to the occupied nations and China proper only. It has been a major threat to free and democratic world. Hong Kong is already on their plate and Taiwan is on their menu. Even more disturbing and more worrisome development is that China is trying hard and partially successful to export colonialism to developing world and authoritarianism to democratic world. China is not sparing any opportunity, from cross-continental projects like Road and Belt Initiative to community-targeted propaganda like Queen's Library exhibition. Chinese money is at work everywhere, from neighboring countries to Central Asia, from Africa to South America. Even in the free and democratic world, Chinese money is threatening the very core value of democracy, human rights, and human dignity. One small example is Chinese embassy's recent attempt to promote Chinese propaganda and brainwash American society about Tibet through a rather small exhibition at public library here, right here in our neighborhood. But one thing the Chinese government miscalculated about is the power of resistance. Thanks to our Tibetan brothers and sisters' 2-week-long strong protest, the Chinese government had to learn the lesson that their money is not always omnipotent. Here I would like to congratulate all of our Tibetan friends for their powerful and successful campaign to bring down the exhibition in Queen's Public Library. So your action is not only inspirational to all of us, but also it is a proof that if we resist, if we stand up together, there is a hope for freedom and democracy. Thank you.